Tell me how I'm here with these things again. Those little black fucking gooey goos. Literally was just talking to my sister real quickly. She sent me some pictures and she's like, I had a nice photo shoot. So I was like, sexy. And then I was like, I feel weird saying that, but I don't really have other words. And she was like, I'm just glad that he knows how to take good pictures. Most guys don't. And I was like, I don't really think that. I think most women probably don't look good. Like your husband taking a picture of you, a candid picture of you, while you're washing the dishes or doing laundry or just whatever you're fucking doing. You probably don't look that pretty. You know? You're not like sitting on a jet ski in the middle of the ocean. And even if you were, and you're not ready, prepared, you probably got rolls and shit, just things that you're not gonna like, and they know better. And then she was like, saying like, I usually don't look good in pictures, and I was like, I always think that too. And I have a bunch of fucking memories from Snapchat coming up right now that are like 100 of the same picture, and I gave her fucking examples. I was like, see these ones and these ones. And she was like, oh my god, what is wrong with us? Body dysmorphia. And I was like, I blame mom for lying about her boobs. And she was like, yeah. And she thought that would help. And I was like, lying is never the answer. I said, I'm pretty sure that's kindergarten shit. Honesty is the best policy. And she said that Savannah tells her that all the time. And I was like, see, she's a Taurus, she's a Hierophant, she's spiritual knowledge, wisdom, she knows what she's talking about. So then I went and I got like the quick little bloop of the Taurus, and I was like, you fucking devil, to her, because she's Capricorn. And I got the bloop of that, right? And then in the drop down from Google, it asked something like, what demon represents Capricorn? So I clicked on it and came here, and we're with the seals, which I'm literally just right now editing the demon seals. Like, this is crazy how much shit like this happens. But these are what they are, okay? So Capricorn is the poison of God. Aquarius is the foulness of God. And Pisces, the secrecy of God. Sagittarius is the rebellion. Scorpio is pushing the measure of God. Libra is the thorn of God. Virgo is the prophet of God. Leo is cutting of God. Cancer is the flask of God. Gemini is the prince of God. Wow, there looks like a lot of nines. But I guess those could be sixes if you flip it around. And then Taurus is the firmness of God. And Aries is the ruling of God. And Araziel, I've heard recently. What the hell's that? Saracil. This one. Saracil. Oh, Sacmeo Vocabio. I think that there used to just be a lot of S's. Rules over events while the sun is in the sign. Telling the future by means of dirt. How do you do that? Geomancy. The word geomancy, prophecy, social classes. It was one of the most popular forms of divination, magic, forbidden arts, necromancy is one of those things the other day. They were like, don't do that, we're fucking boom. Commonly contained specialized grimoires known as lot books, especially during the 19th century. A lot book. See, I was talking about this recently, about how some of the lands are not good. Markings on the ground, the patterns formed by tossing handfuls of soil, rocks, or sand. Specific meanings are created through the divination. Odd, even points, 4 lines. Zodiacal planetary correspondence, 2 figures are attributed to each of the 7 classical planets. North and south nodes of the moon. Each geometric sigil also has a genie on the astral plane. Believe that all physical manifestations have an invisible spirit, a genius existing behind the veil of reality. We can access this hidden rhythm of creation by the means of geomancy. About this part. So I had recently looked up the Alpha Omega thing real quick, and I realized that the Omega is the 24th in the last fucking letter of that alphabet. But the number that I had gotten in my sleep, I was pretty sure was 24. I wasn't sure if it was 24 or 42. But even just thinking like the concepts of these things, right? The Alpha and the Omega, the North Node and the South. Because like when I saw the Omega symbol, it looks very much like the North Node, South Node type of thing, which get flipped. Just like at that same time, I was like, was it 24 or 42? Those are flipped. Just like at the same time, I was seeing the 69. Those are flipped. And it's like the beginning and the end. Those are flipped. You know what I mean? So it's like all of these things interweave from my brain. And it's like how I know that like I'm on something here. I'm like, okay, like it's not just me being insane. Like Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, and you know, and like the 24 thing is just another specific thing to myself and my synchronicity that I've been receiving lately, because it wasn't just in that place that it was coming through. It's coming through when I look up the Alpha and the Omega, which has nothing to do with the Leviticus thing that had come through, other than that the 24 specifically connects to it, and that I had been seeing the 24 and the 42 nonstop at that time. You know what I mean? But they're those little tiny pieces that weave together the fullness of stuff. And it's like people will think that you're just insane or that you're looking for stuff. It's like, I'm not even looking for it. It just is there. It's like, oh, wait a minute, there's a thing. And I can't help it. That's just how my brain is. That's what freaking like ADHD minds do. Also, trauma brain. We have to be super aware in order to survive what we go through in life. And that's why I know what people are doing before they fucking do it. I know when you're ready to fucking be an asshole. I can sense the shift long before you ever come through with the action or the follow-up. I see it in the little expressions and the changes in the tones and the ways and like what brought it forth. Whether it was the addition of somebody else or the idea of something or the perspective that was taken incorrectly or just something that happened that you got triggered by or jealous of or fucking whatever, or I did something that pissed you off. But a lot of times I sense it, I feel it, I know it. And a lot of people are too stuck inside to even acknowledge it. They probably don't even know themselves. Just all of a sudden decide they don't like you, and it builds and you can feel it, and there's not much you can do about it. Once somebody considers something or thinks something and is on a pathway, they're going to do their own reasoning and searching and looking for their own patterns or purpose to back up what they're doing. I don't waste my time with that with other people. Like, I don't give a shit what you're doing, where you're at. I'm too fucking busy with this. Like, it's a non-stop thing, guys. Play. Go explore. Stop worrying about other human beings. And do what comes to you through spirit and the numbers and the synchronicities and the butterflies spin non-stop. And I don't even share shit anymore because it's like, I can see a pattern with that when I share shit. There's a pattern that comes about from it, and it's like I've got to get myself into a place at this point that I can be okay to deal with the aftermath of it. And for the most part, it's not a lot of people, but it's the ones that are like that it's like, what the it's just exhausting after time. They were okay and then they're not. But it's like, I've already scooped this up, picked it out, figured it on long before you started showing it outwardly, like physically or you know, whatever's going on. And it's always different for every person, but it's always felt. It's I can't help it. I can't fucking help it. I know the pattern. If you exhibit a pattern and the pattern breaks, I'm going to pick up on it. And then what results in the new pattern is up to you, whether you're going to be normal and fucking like okay or you're not. And if you're not, I'm going to feel it and know it and sense it. I'm not going to do anything about it other than fucking be aware of it, and depending on where you are placed in this world and how it impacts me personally, that's how I'm going to respond. For the most part, I try to ignore and like just fucking push it away because there's no reason, but it doesn't even matter because the people that are in those energies are going to, like when the fucking stalker dude was up my ass, right? He's painting himself into the picture of things that had nothing to do with him. He had been gone out of my life for fucking 16 years. Nothing I was doing had anything connected to him, but he thought so. He was going places to meet me, even though I had not seen a fucking message from his ass. Like, that's the level of insanity. Like, I know I'm a little crazy, but I'm not out there doing that type of shit. I'm sitting here looking up the Alpha and Omega and going, oh wow, 24. That's the number that the bubba. Oh, Ezekiel. Like, I got so many other better things to do than to worry about you. But that's unfortunate thing that not everybody does. But I think it would be much beneficial. You would get much more further in life. You would have much more wisdom and a happier fucking experience because you're not worried. You don't feel like, oh, you know? Even knowing when people are doing that type of shit, like, for the most part, does not bother me. I just disconnect from it and don't think about it. It just depends, again, like, what fucking position it can fall into. Because, like, if you have to live with the person, you know what I mean? Like, it just depends. Or if you're like sharing a bank account, it just depends on where the situation lies. But I've been very careful as I've grown because I've been stuck in positions with people that exhibited a pattern of being cool, calm, collected, and normal. It's so happy-dappy and I like you so much to fucking Jekyll Hyde type of bullshit where I fucking hate you, I'm gonna kill you, literally. People of that degree that I've tried multiple times, they always fail and they don't have a good outcome from. So I don't even worry about it anymore. Because I've tried too. And I didn't fucking succeed either. You know? You're not the only one that would like me dead. Okay? Like, I tried. I failed. I gave up. But there's still times that I've contemplated it. And as soon as I do, I get some fucking weird, crazy shit that starts happening and lets me know that I'm not going to be able to. And if I keep fucking around with the idea of it, they're going to fuck with me and make things, not so nice. It's going to get harder. So be grateful for what you got. Stop being fucking stupid. We're not letting you die. But if you really want to fuck around and find out, you're gonna regret what you did, basically. And that's always played out in the past. So I don't go down that route. And again, same thing with other people. There's been times in my past where I did the whole like, I'd rather shut you out of my life because it's just easier for me. And I'm capable of it. Because of all the people that I thought that would be normal and healthy and loving and kind that turned out to not be. The people who are supposed to fucking like just naturally innately have that within them that turned out to not be. You know? Like when you realize, wow, like, the one person that should really love you unconditionally didn't. Okay, like none of you matter. Don't matter. You can't hurt me. Sorry. Try someone else if you really want to do that. Geomancy works because every spot on planet Earth has its own occult forces and yet is an integral part of the whole, as is every event in time. From the view of the old genius, time is a misinterpretation of the geometric rhythm, and when we cast our oracle, it must be correct, and there could be no other pattern of manifestation because the result of the divination is a direct reflection of Earth's vibration at that very moment, a bridge to all other moments. Topographical geomancy includes practices as feng shui, the use of song lines, and the belief in ley lines. Yeah, I think they want me to do some ley line thingies. Well, just do something because I think they don't want me to leave till everything's fucking healed. Because I was doing that a couple of Halloweens ago.
Pulse of a society or a people group, an institution, a city, a state, whatever it is, the focus of that mapping assignment is. And what we do is we dig through history to uncover ancient roots of defilement. So there's 3 components to spiritual mapping. There's reconnaissance, there's research, and then there's informed intercession. So with reconnaissance, what we're doing is we're gathering a team of people who have gifts of discernment, for example. So these are people that can see into the spiritual realm, that can feel like what's coming off the land itself.
Yes.
And also who, are skilled in hearing the voice of the Lord. So we'll go onto the land itself and just ask the Lord to show us what's happened here. Yes. And we take notes, and then we pair that with the research component. And that involves, digging through historical documents. Yep. We'll obtain demographic data. We'll even interview local people to kind of get their perspective of what's happened. And then we find that looking through old newspaper articles can be incredibly insightful. So then we take all that information.
I did that the other day. I was in the fucking, 441, 414. The other day I was looking at fucking, Australian newspapers from like, long time, like way long ago, and everybody was just like named what they were. Butcher, like hair dude. I don't know, it was weird, it was crazy, but I was doing it.
We pull it together and write up a prayer brief that has these targeted prayer strategies, and that's what informs intercession. Because really what we want to do is we want to help equip those people that are praying for the land and for the people to be able to strike at the root of the issues. And what we've discovered over time is that there's 4 types of iniquity that can create a stronghold on the land. Iniquity is a pattern of sin. And so what we're looking for...
Dude, I googled the meaning of the word the other night and I showed Jenny. Because there's iniquity and inequity. There's 2 the booms. I literally did this the net. The videos that I have sent to Jenny. It's in here. And it is...
Inequity is typically used in terms of quantitative data, while inequity is typically used in terms of qualitative data. But basically, it's not a good thing, isn't it? It is weird because I was just freaking out. I was just freaking out about it, wasn't I? The thing I saw made it make sense very quickly and easily. Why can't I feel justice? It's a lack of that. There's no justice. It's not fair.
Has there been sexual perversion, idolatry, broken covenants, or bloodshed? And if those have been patterns of sin on the land, then most likely a stronghold has been established over a territory, and that negatively affects people whether they know it or not.
That's why I fucking hate it here, because all the Native Americans out there died. I fucking did some work on the land, but it's dark here. Like, it's just gotten worse, because it's just evil. There's a lot of evil connected to it, and suppression, and like falseness, right? Oh, hey, we're gonna welcome you to our place, and we're gonna be nice to you and not fucking be mean to you, and you're gonna come and you're gonna bring your fucking famine, like you're gonna make us sick, and you're gonna fucking just like massacre us and kill us and leave us dead in the fucking land. Like, didn't bury them, nothing. There was a whole, like, I saw a whole thing out there. The Native Americans that were here were fucking massacred and left in that bog. And I did some work out there on Samhain time a couple years ago, and I saw them leave. I literally, you can clearly, I was outside drumming, and you can see on the video 2 very clear spirits come fucking and leave. One actually went into like my vagina like area. That was interesting. But I've been able to see them when I look out there anyway. But the day that I came here, very first time, cried because of how dark and like crazy it is here. But it's beautiful, but it's dark. It's dark. There's a lot of weird shit too.
And so what we want to do is we want to equip people to be able to go on the land and pray and break off curses, uproot wicked structures that have been established. We want to tear down.
That's probably why I can't fucking get out of here. They're like, go, yeah, 444. I'm like, yeah. See, this helps me too. I'm figuring things out all the time, you know. And I've been thinking that for a while, but it's hard when your feet are broken. Like, you're not like, let's go outside and do some land clearing. But I keep getting messages about working with the land, and I keep being like obviously my knowing is like, hey, keeps pulling me out there. Like, you're not done with that. You started it, but you didn't finish it. There's more that want to go. Something that needs to be done, clearing and cleansing and releasing from stuff. And that could be even why things have played out the way they've played out for me here. In certain things, like, because things are going great, things are going good, awesome, saucy, and then not so well. So many fucking bad things have happened, but there was like a fucking, I remember the time that there was a portal that I could feel like sucking, and I think that's why so much shit comes here too, like dirt and other people's shit that they don't want, like somebody dies or somebody leaves. Like, there's just so much shit here. We've taken dumpsters here twice and thrown tons of shit out. And there's still more. It's like, but it collects. But I could feel the magnet of it one night. Like, I could show you. I could, like, it was like magnetically, like, boom. It was crazy. Like, anything that was metal was like sticking. It was like pulling. I could show it on camera. I was like, I could feel myself being pulled. I felt like I was being pulled into hell. It was scary, crazy.
Strongholds. All of that is in prayer. And then we want to release, you know, the full measure of blessing that God has intended for that land and that people. Because ultimately we want people to come into a greater awareness and the fullness of what God has called them to be or created them to be. So that's spiritual mapping in a nutshell. So what happened for me is in 2014, like I said, I just kept feeling the Lord nudge me to write a spiritual mapping prayer brief on the Federal Reserve. So that's what I did. And I gathered some intercessors and we prayed through those targeted prayer strategies. And I really thought my assignment was done. You know, I thought, okay, time to move on. But the Lord just kept nudging me that he wanted me to pick it back up. And so finally, after about a year and a half of him nudging me in 2016, I picked it back up and began researching and writing. But I really didn't know what I was writing because for the first, that first little while, it was becoming way too big for a spiritual mapping prayer brief. Those are 5 to 10 pages. So for the first year, I'm like, what am I writing, Lord? And finally in 2017, he clued me in. In chapter 5, I remember distinctly, I'm writing this chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters. And I had no idea how this book was even going to come together. I didn't understand the twists and turns that the investigative journey would take. And so it really was just this act of obedience. And my constant prayer was Jeremiah 33:3, which says, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. And that definitely happened for me.
So the Lord said to Jeremiah, call upon me and I will tell thee great and marvelous things.
I literally just turned the car around. What the fuck? Don't do this to me! Leave me alone! Remove all demons!
God is...
before this river becomes an ocean.
Oh, there.
Because
Oh,
I
that
got to have
person's so
faith,
funny.
faith,
They
faith.
stay out.
You gotta check the Ezekiel. Check the Ezekiel. And it was everything that I had just said. To, like, I've been saying it to you guys, and I've been saying it in other places. Like, I'm sick and motherfucking tired of telling people things that go in one ear and out the other. Ezekiel to know that his message was getting out to the people even if they did not obey. They hear your words, but they do not do them. In a superficial sense, Ezekiel was popular as a prophet. People talked about his prophetic words and gave lip service, and the words being from God, yet it was a very superficial sense. They heard, but they did not really listen or do them. With their mouth, they show much love, but with their hearts, they pursue their own gain. People said good and kind things about Ezekiel's preaching, but it made no difference in their hearts or lives. They still lived for their own gain, enjoyed the prophet's music, but did not respond to his message with truth, faith, and action. Well, at the very least, the people would know that Ezekiel was indeed a true prophet and should never be regarded as an entertainer or a mere inspirational speaker.
You know, the research I do in this book, it spans from the dawn of humanity to our current day. And I identify, you know, this Nephilim agenda that's defiled our monetary system, but practically every institution in our land. And so I trace this agenda from the days of Noah to our current day.
I just came here because I knew that I shared this not that long ago, a clip from that time. And it's like, in 2022, I did a land blessing here because I connected with some of the souls that were stuck in the bog from back in the days where they came and they murdered all the natives. And like, I was like seeing them. Like very clearly, there was so much stuff going on out there, and in this video, specifically like right there, you see one go by, but in the other parts of it, like you can see one go like into me, right there, and that looks very much like the things that come out of like when I do Palo Santo. Sometimes there's like these bird-like things that fly all around, but like that one went into my vagina, which concerning, you know, concerning. What the hell was that? But hopefully they just got lost on their way and they're finding their way to wherever they need to be, you know, whatever. But it was interesting because it was like haunting me and I couldn't let it go. So I finally did it, have that happen, right? Now this specifically says 2022. Before I just started editing this video and coming to this to click on that, and look, 22222 down there, okay? I literally just, and if I take mine off of here, 22, okay? In 102, if I literally, I will show you, I just saw a video, I was the only person that had seen it or liked it, and the person in it was specifically talking about 2022, and it very much resonated because I know that something has happened. Like, I've had so many confirmations that something specifically happened, but it's one of those things that it's like, it's very severe, it's very extreme, it's something that like is upsetting. But beyond that, it impacts other things, and there's a reason why things are happening. And I know 100% that regardless if this person is found out for what they did or not, they're going to have their karma for that. They're definitely, like, there's things that are going to be, and I just know I'm being fully supported by the divine within it. And it's just something that I've been telling, like, certain people that I can tell. And some people, you know, probably think that I'm fucking crazy or whatever. It's just one of those things that I don't care. People that are out there, they're like, oh my god, how do you know that? I don't fucking know how I know, but I do know. And this is one of those things that I fucking know in the depths of my fucking soul. I just know that it happened. Because, like, this doesn't even personally impact me what was done. This is somebody else that's trying to get to me to let me know what was done, which I already had an inkling of just based out of the ways that things played out. But, you know, it's one of those things that something will come about. But let's go see the thing.
Enjoying my day. And God said, I saw all of it. Here's the saying, you guys. He has seen everything that a certain person or a certain group of people have done. He said, I saw everything. I'm also getting something about 48 years. Before I saw that, I saw the word jail. Some of you, this could be something going on spiritually, but for others, I feel like this is something that literally happened to you. You may or may not know about this yet. Something about the year 2022. 2002, 2000, something about the year and two. Everyone is about to see how protected you actually are. I'm getting sit back and enjoy the show. This is going to be a situation that takes you places, okay? I don't know what this is or who this is for. This is going to be a situation that takes you places, good places, places you are destined to be at, places they tried to block you from going to collective. It is your time now. And you know what else it's time for? It's time for everyone to pay. It's time for everyone to see there is a God. It's time for everyone to see you are protected. It's time. There's something here specific about timing.
So earlier, the video I had seen was about it's time to pay the paid piper type of bullshit. And again, I've seen numerous. I have over an hour long of just little clips, just little clips of things that I've seen within the past probably 6 months that I had like been, just like clipping because I was trying to relate to my father. That like I know this thing happened 100%, and it's happened to the extent now that he's fucking on board. He believes it because there's no denying it. You can't deny the level of specifics that are like, hey, yeah, so blah blah blah, person's fucking name comes through, all of the details that I had already said, that I said intuitively just by myself on my own. I was like, I feel like this person did this because of that, and this is why, and this is what they did. And at first, well, maybe, yeah, kind of, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, it's a fucking pattern. It's very easy to see. And then for me to just, all of a sudden, random, and it's always different people. This is one of the compilations. This is 24 minutes. And an hour and 7 minutes of all different clippy clips from all different people on all different places for months on end, and this isn't even all of them. Alright, this happened to me last night, and I researched. When you put something down or you put things together that are magnetic, they like, right? They stick, okay? What the fuck? Like, that's happening to all the things that I touch, but it went away during the day. Now it's back again. And I don't get it. Like, you see this? All right, you see that though? Like, oh, okay, look at that. It's like, it's because this is a metal one. This is like literally fucking being drawn down too. Does this have it? It's not as strong here. Oh, I know. A portal. I can even hear it in my voice. Alright, we gotta figure out what the fuck is going on. Alright, I think that's counterclockwise, so that means it's an exit. So there's like things are just exiting out here. Is there anything else? Like, is there another? Okay. Counterclockwise is an exit, I believe. I should double check that. Very strong one. And it was like trying to suck me out of this world. I'm like, I feel like my gifts are amplified and magnified. I can hear stuff. Where is this fucking portal? This exit. Is it the whole house? Alright, show me. Jesus, this had it too. Holy moly. Holy crap, dude. What the fuck? It's not even like the center of the house.
Land. What's up, my name is Phoenix, and I can see in the spirit realm. I've talked before about how demons, they can attach to either people, places, or things. Well, so can angels, but you don't need to worry about those. I have a separate video talking specifically about how they can attach to different aspects of a human being. I also have a separate video talking about how they can attach to different objects. Both of those are in my playlist called Deliverance. Today, I'm going to be teaching about how these spirits can actually attach to land itself. You already know I'm coming with receipts. Leviticus 19:25 says, "And the land became unclean, so that I punished its iniquity, and the land vomited out its inhabitants." Isaiah 24:5-6 says, "The earth lies defiled under its inhabitants, for they have transgressed the laws, violated the statutes, and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore a curse devours the earth, and its inhabitants suffer for their guilt. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are scorched, and few men are left." Demons are always either attached to a person, or some aspect of that person, a place, or a thing. If it's a place, it's something done to the land there itself. or something done on the land. Let's just say you and your family live in a house on this little, and you have like an acre of property. Let's say all of you guys really struggle with envy. You guys are all super envious. Spirit of envy out there in the world, just like a shark can sniff out of blood in the ocean from miles away, sniffs out that envy, comes in, and instead of attaching itself to one of you guys or an object in your house, it decides to attach to the actual land itself that your house lies on. Now that it has that attachment formed, this spirit is not going to leave this land. So even when you guys are like, oh God, please forgive me for my envy, and you guys rebuke envy, or you see this actual spirit and you keep rebuking it and just will not go, even after anointing the house, and you have an exorcist come and pray over the house, it's attached to the land itself, which is not leaving, because it's like, well, technically, you never prayed over this land. So I still have a legal right to be here. But if you're specific when you pray, like God always tells us, ask and you will receive. If you're like, okay, God, please forgive all the sins, iniquities, or transgressions ever done on this land or to this land. Oh, wash it clean with the blood of Jesus Christ. Washing it clean with the blood of Jesus Christ then gives you the legal authority over that land now spiritually. After asking Him to forgive the sins done to the land or on the land, washing it clean with the blood of Jesus Christ, now you can rebuke and renounce any spirits attached to any part or aspect of the land itself, and rebuke or undo any curse or spell or any kind of witchcraft as well. Witchcraft or other satanic or occultic practices can also form attachments on the land itself as well. This can also open up portals on the land itself as well. But don't overthink it. So like, everyone's always like, oh, what do I pray for this? What do I pray for that? Think. Everywhere in the Bible, it talks about the spirit realm as a very legalistic manner. It talks about in Job going to the courts of heaven. Think about it where you're taking these beings to court, where they're like, well, technically, you never prayed to undo this. Someone opened up a portal here 20 years ago, and no one's ever prayed to close it. So we still have a legal right to be here, no matter how much you rebuke them, no matter how much you tell them to get off, that this is your house, and blah, 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 blah. Because you haven't closed that portal. So they still see that they have a legal right to be there. So just like in a court of law, if you have a portal on your property, ask God to close. First off, ask Him to forgive all the sins and inequities ever done to that land or on the land. Then ask Him to just close the portal and seal it shut with the blood of Jesus Christ. Then rebuke and renounce any spirits attached to or affecting any part or aspect of the land or the property, or any portals on the land or property. Just like that. There's no like magic words you need to say. You just need to be specific. That's why I say, like, think of it like in legal terms, where if you're not specific enough, you're going to lose the case. Someone can be like, well, they didn't technically say this, and so we haven't broke that law. Be like, well, technically we weren't attached to this land because of anything that person did, or attached to sins done to the land itself. So we still have the legal right to be here. When you ask God to forgive all the sins done to the land, undoing it, now they no longer have a legal right to be there. Okay, it's that simple. Don't worry, I will include a prayer in this caption that will undo any spiritual attachments to any land or property that you live on, and it'll cover every possible base, okay? I promise. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'm just trying to teach you guys how to do this on your own. So yeah, if you're experiencing a lot of demonic activity in your house, even after you've done deliverance and self-exorcism, but you can feel it, like even when you walk on the land, you know, like sometimes there's those certain houses maybe growing up that you just did not like that house, or you just did not like going to that certain property, probably because of stuff attached to the land itself. And it's usually not just one spirit. It's usually at least 10, okay? Guys, these things are way more prevalent than usual. Most people think it's just like one or two, and sure, it might be like the strongest one or two that's really bothering you guys or doing stuff to you, but there's probably a lot more.
It seemed like it was coming faster.
And you must leave. Do not return. Do not bother another. I protect myself and all others. Rise in your frequency. Repent for your energy. Above the earth, you've done it before. The ancestors will open the door, and then you decide. You are free, and you are loved. I thank you for your sacrifice, your wisdom, pain, and separation, darkness that was taken. I love you. Darkness, even though fear, I never got. It is okay to experience these things, and it is okay to be within duality, in the energy, and I can feel you all around me. I know you're in the wind, you're in the waters, in the rhythm, the ancient wisdom, the light from inside, the ancient pain, separation, darkness, all this time. You are braver than you know. You paved the way.
Alright guys, so new developments have occurred. I did not realize, did not see until a moment ago that this motherfucker went through me. Okay? It went through me. This is not a bug. We can no longer, question, oh, is it a bug? No, it's not a bug, because if it was a motherfucking bug, it would have stopped behind my body, not go through me! Look! Out my neck. Guys. Holy fuck. God, oh my god. I'm not crazy. This is happening. This type of stuff is happening. Those little fucking handprints. I googled, what is a raccoon? Because I know raccoons, possums. Yeah, okay. Well, they're not under an inch. They're 2 to 3 inches. This makes no sense. Like, this is definitely spirit, and it's on a live video, so it's not like I can edit it and make it do fancy shit. You go watch the live right now.
And this person that's about to get arrested, or picking this up with your intuition.
Jesus put you in isolation and made you sit down and study human nature and how these shape-shifting demonic narcissists act in this world. See, what God did was isolate you. However, you thought it was a punishment. He took away your car. However, you thought it was crazy. You thought this was, you feel me? You thought, this was bad. However, that conviction was a blessing. Bad girl obtained this wealth without learning how these demonic narcissists operate in this world.
Archdemons. The Archdemons rule over the zodiac, descending energies and occultists considered these spirits to represent the descending energies and did not believe them to be explicitly demonic or evil. Depending on the source, these may be regarded as angels or genii. Theoretically, these spirits are opposed to by the archangels of the zodiac. Essentially, Persian astrology created a chart with the names of the demons in the first part of the second volume. You see, but this is the thing. A guy I heard the other day made a good fucking point about if you're talking to demons, they're not gonna tell you the truth. Like, I reside over this. They're gonna lie, so that you don't know who they are, what they do, and how to do anything about what they are and what they do. He also claimed to have found the information about the demons in Gaffarel's work and ignores their appearance in Kircher's book. Why? Oh, look at 11/11, 2024. 331. Okay, that's, even more weird ass fucking confirmations. Why? Because earlier today I saw 11/11/11 as the fucking start time of this bullshit. I woke up on 11/11/11, 2011. And the 331, earlier today when I went to grab the 911 stuff, the 33s were in. This keeps happening to me too. Like, I went and saw the 69 the other day, and I'm like, why is 7 all, like, there's a whole thread of people talking about the meaning of 69, and then there's just, boom, here's a 7, people talking about the 7, this 7, that 7, and then it flips to fucking 42, which was like the mirror, which the 69 is mirroring each other. It was and I kept saying all that damn, like, I fucking duality, right? And then the 42 was the mirror of the 24 that I had heard in the dream. It's been nonstop. I don't know how to blah, 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 tell everybody what's going on to the degree. I just need you to know that is a lot. How do we know which one's good and bad? Like, I don't see much of a difference here. You know what I mean? Who's to say what's what? Because everybody lies. Things are fucked up. Asmodal sounds like not a good one. I've heard that. Destruction of the enemies. Yeah. Fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Don't become my enemy. Actually, you know what? Become my enemy. Because it's your destruction. You will die. Exalted. Lightning of God, exalter and maker of God, oath of God, rest of God, sincerity or purity of God, strength of God, reverence and fear of God, benediction of God, highness. Cancer's just high. Orator of God. Yeah, they never shut up. I don't know, man. I thought Asmodal. I heard some stuff about Asmodal. With rhetoric and knowledge of the grammar, the angels are capable of assessing cosmic love vibrations at the behest of a magician. You're not supposed to be doing that, right? So if the God made angels, and he doesn't want, like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, why would there be a hierarchy of angels doing weird shit with fucking these peoples You know, oh, you gotta work with the fucking magic peoples that you're not supposed to be having. Doesn't, like, and only they can work with, doesn't make sense, you know? Asmodel rules over the month of April and the neck in the human body, the hierarchy of angels. He is the cherubim, carnelian. Zodiac is under his control is Arazio, the demon king of Taurus. Asmodel is mentioned in many grimoires from the 1500s onward. His name first appears. I wonder what it was like back then. Like, who the fuck was talking to him? Like, yeah, so I, you know, like, who came up with this? You know, where did it come from? Who was making grimoires and like multiples of them? There must look at 1619, 69, and there's the 31 again. 3 books of occult philosophy must have come from an older unidentified source. That's what I said. What did I say? Why? Who's coming up with it? Marks of the earliest publication of the Summoning Seal, the Arsenal manuscript, 1600. Why? What is that? 2495, 1600. Is that because they fucking changed time? Because we know that they disappeared 1,000 years. The angel's abilities, although this text likely utilized an older source in his 1951 book, equates Asmodel with the demon Asmodee, although there is no evidence to support this. Yeah, well, how come I'm aware of Asmodel being possibly demonic? Like, why is that in my brain bank of information? I don't know if it's something I know from learning or something I just know. Look at that, 27th of November. Eccles Sigil Oracle? Uh-oh. That looks scary. 42? What is going on? What is happening? Come on. Like, what is... Come on. I can't. I don't know. I just said 42 a minute ago. Didn't I? It's for its use in ritual magic and divination. Corresponding regularly built magic and spirituality. An oracle deck. The sigils would be utilized. The cards themselves would work. Each agreed that the deck had to function as a multifaceted tool to be useful for the community beyond an each group of ritual magicians. See, over the course of the following year, luring Damien. Oh God, Damien. Why don't name your kid Damien? Just does not sound to be a smart thing to do. Drew the sigils by hand while Travis digitally coded the design for the cards. After the sigil artwork was completed, they were... Who the fuck would name their kid Damien? That, like, really bothers me. Like, it does not sit well at all. It doesn't. After the artwork was completed, they were scanned. And I think it matters because I know a person named her dog fucking that place. The island of fucking drugs and sex and craziness, and she's like, this dog is so crazy, oh my god. And I'm like, it's because you named it a fucking druggy island, like Ibiza. She named it Ibiza, and Ibiza's a fucking crazy dog because it's a crazy island. You get what you do. You like, you know, it just happens to happen. It's a frequency. You're gonna name someone something, you're giving them a frequent motherfucking C. They're gonna be doing those things. From pencil sketches to two-tone white and red digital images, the overall design, the tier, the boop-ba-da, has grunge aesthetic with ripped edges, tears. That's good. So if they do get fucked up, nobody can complain. Tears and scratches on the cards. These features are purely cosmetic and do not interfere. Every card is unique, with no 2 cards having exactly the same distress patterns. The sigils are made using the Rosicrucian method. Each card contains a name of the sigil. The sigil, the runic text in the Theban alphabet, the short text explaining the sigil's function. Strength to resist the adversary. Physical health, financial success, and look at that. How do we get that? Like, I've seen people make these. The Echo Sigil Oracle contains 42, a number with ancient spiritual connotations included. Okay, now we're getting more. Assessors of Maat, the judgment god, judges the souls of the dead in the afterlife alongside Osiris in the Egyptian religion. This number is also found scattered throughout the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, where it appears in 12 different verses. In the New Testament, it appears twice in the book of Revelation. In reference to the Antichrist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where are you going to take me? Astrology, divination, gematria, babadiboo, babadiba, babadibibidiboobadiba, Christianity, babadibibidiboo, alchemical, come on, Jewish, gematria, babadibi, boobadibab, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, elemental P, I was just talking about the Chaldean, the lesser known method more popular in the 19th and early 20th century. Chaldean is an old-fashioned name. Chaldean method number 9 is not used in the calculations, at least in practice. It is left out because it is thought to be divine and sacred, therefore unassignable. This method is radically different from the Pythagorean letters that are assigned values based on equating the bubbly boops. Biblical numerology, the Bible, to convey a meaning outside of the numbers. 3.5, a broken 7, or a symbolic week that is arrested midway. Also signifies the amount of time that the temple is given over to the heathen worship. 3.5 years corresponds to 42 months, or 1260 days. Okay, I gotta try to remember that. 10 can be used to signify totality, the 10 biggest 10 toes. Total number of digits found on humans, that's space. Oh, it's 1111. 1111 is just significant. We got, and it's 666. My dog is being hot. Gotta put the AC on. There you go, hot dog. Okay, 6. Wait. 6 is use a final hallmark in a series leading to a 7. Okay. Listen, the other day when I looked up 69, someone was like, it's the number before 70. I'm like, yeah, that's a given. Mankind created on the 6th day in Genesis out of the 7 days of creation. Sometimes it is used to refer to a value falling short of 7. For example, the number of the beast. 666 represents the evil falling short of the divinity perfect of 777. Can be used for perfection, completeness. Examples include the 7 days of creation and 7 days that make up the week and 7 lamps in the temple of Menorah or Monamen. 8, a new life or the new beginning. There are 8 people on Noah's Ark. Circumcision takes place on the 8th day. The 8,000th year represents the end. What? 12 reflects 12 lunar months in a lunar year. It refers to the completeness, often associated with the people of God. There are 12 tribes in Israel, and Jesus made the decision to have 12 disciples. 40, so that 13 would be, if I have 12 of them and I'm there, that's a 13. 40 represents a generation or a full period of time. The New Testament book of Revelation contains a large amount of numeric values, leading many to believe that the numbers may be provided clues to when or how the events described will unfold. 3.5 years and its variants of 42 months and 1,260 days are employed throughout Revelation. 4 refers to the 4 living creatures around God's throne and the fourfold division of humanity representing all of creation. The earth has 4 corners representing north, south, east, and west. Likewise, New Jerusalem, representing the new earth, has 4 sides. 666 is the number of the beast from the sea. The number of the 6 has the hallmarks of the perfect 7, but falls short. It is not the ultimate, i.e. 7, only the penultimate. 7 references the 7 churches, 7 bowls, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 thunder, 7 spirits of God, 7 stars, 7 lampstands, 7 eyes and horns of the Lamb of God, 7 heads and diadems of the dragon, okay, and 7 heads of the beast. 10 is associated with the power, the red dragon and the beast from the sea, each having 10 horns signifying their claim to total power. The beast from the sea has 10 diadems on its 10 horns, emblematic of its claim to unlimited or total ruling authority. 12 refers to the number of angels, numbers of stars, 12 angels and 12 gates, each of which have the names of the 12 apostles inscribed and is adorned with 12 jewels, and the tree of life has 12 kinds of fruit. The New Jerusalem measures 12,000 stadia on each side. Scientific theory sometimes labeled numerology if the primary inspiration appears to be a set of patterns rather than scientific observation. This colloquial use of the term is quite common with the scientific community and is mostly used to dismiss a theory as a questionable science. The best known example of numerology in science involves a coincidental resemblance of certain large numbers that intrigued mathematical physicist Paul Dirac, mathematician Herman Weyl, and astronomer Arthur Stanley Eddington. These numerical coincidences refer to such quantities as the ratio of the age of the universe to the atomic unit of time, the number of electrons in the universe, the difference in strengths between gravity and electrical force of the electron and proton, the distance of Sirius from Earth. Okay. And this page was last edited on the 11th. Crazy, man. Crazy. I can't believe it's happening, Let's go back here. Okay, Egyptian religion. This number is also scattered throughout the Bible, where it appears in the 12 different verses in the New Testament. It appears twice in the book of Revelation, refers to Antichrist. Although the cards themselves are unnumbered, the order presented in the Dex guidebook is suggested as a pathway to healing and higher spirituality. If desired, a magic worker can work with the sigils one at a time, progressing through the entire deck of 42. Cord cutting, centering and balance, stillness, banishing fear, clearing, inner knowing, resolving resentment, love, shielding, protecting, overcoming grief, blessings, waiting, gratitude, joy, invisibility, intuition, victory, success, abundance, manifestation, beauty, mercy, rest. The cosmic connections or solar application, new moon, full moon, the 4 seasons, the future. The spiritual portals as the celestial lotus and the gateway talisman. The archangels are Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Asmodel, Hamaliel, Haniel, Sandolphin, Vertio. Who the hell are these people? I've never heard of them. Bloodstone Studios, boopity bop, generated $86,000 against a $9,099 goal. Its release will be accompanied by a full-length grimoire, the Grimoire of Sigil Magic. Product page to purchase deck, Kickstarter campaign, pitch video on YouTube, interview about the deck. Alright. There is currently no text in this page. You can search for the page title. Well, I guess they didn't do it, huh? Oh, goodness. The Grimoire of Heaven and Hell, the example of a grimoire from the modern period. It's a spell book. Amulets, perform magic. Entities as angels, spirits, deities, and demons. The texts that are not grimoires, such as the Bible, have been believed to have supernatural properties. Contents found in a grimoire would be information on spells, rituals, preparation of magical tools, and a list of ingredients in their magical correspondences. In this manner, while all books on magic could be thought of as grimoires, not all magic books should be thought of as grimoires. Okay. The incantation from ancient Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, where they have been found inscribed on cuneiform clay tablets that archaeologists excavated from the city of Uruk and dated to between the 5th and 4th centuries. The ancient Egyptians also employed magical incantations which have been found inscribed on amulets and other items. They had something magical known as Heka, which greatly altered the expanded of the Macedonians led by Alexander the Great and invaded by Egypt in 332 BC. In the next centuries of Hellenistic Egypt, the Coptic writing system evolved. This likely had influence upon books of magic, with the trend on known incantations switching from simple health and protection charms to more specific things such as financial success, sexual fulfillment. Around this time, the legendary figure of Hermes Trismegistus developed as a conflation of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek Hermes. This figure was associated with writing and magic, and therefore the books of magic. They believed that the magic was invented by the Persians. The 1st century AD writer Pliny an Elder stated that magic had been first discovered by the ancient philosopher Zoroaster around the year 647 BC, but that it was only written down in the 5th century by the magician Othnes. His claims are not supported by modern historians. Jewish people are often viewed as being knowledgeable in magic, which according to the legend they had learned from Moses, who had learned it in Egypt. Among many ancient writers, Moses was seen as an Egyptian rather than a Jew. 2 manuscripts likely dated to the 4th century, both of which purport to be the legendary 8th book of Moses, the first 5 being the initial books in the biblical Old Testament, present him as a polytheist who explained how to conjure gods and subdue demons. Meanwhile, there is definite evidence of grimoires being used by the certain, particularly Gnostic sects of early Christianity. In the Book of Enoch, found within the Dead Sea Scrolls, for instance, there is information on astrology and the angels. In possible connection with the Book of Enoch, the idea of Enoch and his great-grandson Noah having some involvement with the books of magic given to them by the angels continued throughout the medieval period. Israelite King Solomon was a biblical figure associated with magic and sorcery in the ancient world. 1st century Roman Jewish historian Josephus mentioned in a book circulating under the name of Solomon that contained incantations for summoning demons and described how a Jew called Eliezer used to cure cases of possession. The book may have been the Testament of Solomon, but it was probably a different work. The pseudographic Testament of Solomon is one of the oldest magical texts. It is Greek manuscript attributed to Solomon and likely written in either Babylonian or Egypt sometime in the first 5 centuries AD, over 1,000 years after Solomon's death. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bottom name Boopity Bop, Adams, Moses, Helix, Tofu. I wish I could see it in person. Like, they had a lot of time back then. You know what I mean? They're like, you know what? Let's just do the fanciest fucking writing by hand. Never mind, like, I feel like it takes me too long to find a fancy font. They're gonna sit down and write it all out by their hand. And what if they make a mistake? There is no mistakes because they took their time. Cherubim, Ophaniel, that. That's the thingy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle. Yeah, that thing in the middle is I saw that a little while ago. That's the thing. It's a box. It's Satan. There's too much information to make that make sense right in this moment, but you will understand at some point. Okay, they got Michael, Haniel, Jalpus, Arato, and Gabriel. Okay. So, what are these things up here? Like these thingies. Oh. These pictures, what are these? They look like a lot of boxes. A grid, a grad, 3 grad, 9 grad. If you don't love you anymore. They look like fucking Egyptian shit. Some of it, it's like a mix of stuff. Well, there's a pyramid, so I guess that is definitely Egyptian stuff. Haniel, Michael, Raphael, Kamael, Zadikiel, Kiel, Ophiniel. That's a cherubim. Metatron is a seraphim. Okay, so Ophiniel is a cherubim. Zafkiel is a, I don't know. What the hell is that? Elohim? Oh goodness. Zadikiel is a hexakiel. And Kamiel is a Genertigen. Raphael is a what? What are these letters, guys? You know, you didn't have to make it so fucking fancy. Gabriel's just a regular angel, I guess. I don't know. See, they're saying in archetype O, in archetype O. Oh goodness, see all the boxes? The squares? And the fucking hexagons? That's demons. Supposedly. I don't understand what's happening. Oh, and there's the stuff. Ophanimel, Jeff, Jophiel, Zafkiel, Zadikiel, El. There's the El. The Elohim, Eloha, El, Jod, Tetragram, the Jophi El. See, look at the L right there. Look at, see how it's like a big E? Telling you the EL is fucking important. Palace is a, whatchamacallit? One of the things. It's the thing out there, Palace. It's one of the fucking little things. Palace is a little thing. Afmodel. Oh, look it. Is that a Taurus right there? And that's a Aries and Taurus? Almodel. Yeah. April. They just said April is over the throat. Venus. Pallas is a asteroid. And these are the thingies. So Ambriel is Gemini, May. Muriel is in Junius, Mercurius, Mercury, Chalcedonius. Virgil is in Julius, Jupiter, Jampus, Adler, Hamnel, Augustus, Ceres. Ceres is another one of those thingies. Ceres and Pallas are the fucking that ChatGPT just asked me recently if I wanted to know my thingy connected to those, like the goddesses connected to that, when I asked about my natal chart stuff. Zuriel, September, Vulcanus. How did these people know this shit in fucking 1000 AD, like, or before D? You know what I mean? What is happening? Barbiel, October, Mars. Okay, so this is totally different too, because Mars is usually with Aries, Amethyst, and that looks like a Scorpion. I feel like we've been lied to about so many goddamn things. Adanikel, November. Diana is a goddess. Hyacinth. Haniel is December. Vesta is the other one. Okay, so Juno, Vesta, Babidi-Bab, Ceres, and Pallas. Those are all asteroids. Januarius, Juno. Juno is another one. Crystal. Markiel. Februarius. It even looks like it says love right there. Neptunus. Sapphuz. Is that sapphire? Look. So February has a fishies. Love. This is a virgin for the January. We got the weird goatee thing in December. Right? We got the Virgo one in November. We got the Scorpio one in October. We got the Justice in September. Virgo. Who's this? Who's that? Oh, is that the water bear, Aquarius? In August? Okay, Leo in July. June, what is that? What the fuck is that? Is that a crab? Gemini is in... Okay, Gemini's right, Taurus is right. Aries, I guess, is right. So, these first three... Okay, if the 69 is with the crab, that's right. But this one's wrong, this one's wrong, this one's wrong, this one's wrong, this one's wrong. Like, all the other ones are wrong. And I'm going to say that they were probably more right than us. Don't you think? Don't you think? Alright, this is just crazy though. This is fucking crazy. Can someone read this to me, please? The Gnostic Christina, Book of Enoch. Okay, the Testament of Solomon. Summoning the demon Belial. Based on precedents dating back to the early 1000s. Was not completed in any meaningful sense until sometime in the medieval period. In most noteworthy recensions, the text described how Solomon was enabled to build his temple by commanding demons by the means of a magical ring that was entrusted to him by Archangel Michael. Okay, that's the seal of Solomon, and look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle of the king's sing-a-dingy-dingy. Okay, in the seal, you get the little hexagon or a box. It's a story about a demon named Orneus harassing a young man by stealing half of his pay. Oh yeah, and he was being a douche, sucking out his vitality through his thumb on his right hand. So Solomon prays in the temple and receives Archangel Michael a ring with the seal of God in the shape of a pentagram on it, which will enable him to command the demons. Solomon lends the ring to the lad, who, by throwing the ring at the demon Orneus, stamps him with the seal and brings him under the control. Solomon then orders the demon to take the ring and similarly imprint the prince of demons, Beelzebub. Then he had him under his command. Solomon now has all the demons at his bidding to build the temple. Beelzebub reveals that he was formerly the highest ranking angel in heaven. Then Epiphipis and another demon from the Red Sea bring a miraculous column made of something purple from out of the Red Sea. This Red Sea demon reveals himself as Abizlib and claims to be the demon who supported the Egyptian magicians against Moses and who hardened the Pharaoh's heart, but had been caught with the Egyptian host when the sea returned and held down the pillar until Epiphipis came and together they could lift it. There follows a short conclusion in which Solomon describes how he fell in love with a Shunammite woman and agreed to worship Remphan and Moloch in exchange for sex. What? Solomon agrees to sacrifice to them, but at first only sacrificed 5 locusts by simply crushing them in his hand. Immediately the Spirit of God departs from him, and he is made foolish, and his name becomes a joke to both humans and demons. Solomon concludes his text with a warning to the readers. He tells them to not abandon their beliefs for sex like he did. 36 deacons. The demons of the 36 Egyptian deacons appear with the names that sometimes seem to be conscious distortions of the traditional names for the deacons. The deacondom demons claim responsibility mostly various ailments and pains, and they provide the magical formula by which they may be banished. The 33rd demon is Rix, the Babadook, causes a sore throat and tonsillitis and can be driven off by writing the word on ivy leaves and heaping them into a pile. I feel like that's just a lie. I feel like if I'm talking to a demon, he's like, yeah, write this on this, and just keep making a pile of those, and you'll get better. And people probably just got better over time. Or they died. Didn't know, and nobody knew. Mentions a similar story, and they were probably like, oh, demon! Solomon enslaves Ajmodi, a prince of the demons, to build the temple, and he was disposed of temporarily by him. Solomon's encounter with the 7 demons who are sisters. They introduce themselves to the king and describe their home among the stars and Mount Olympus. The 7 demon sisters represent the Pleiades of Greek mythology. Oh no. The demon Anisbigos recounts to King Solomon at one point during the temple construction that he can take 3 different physical forms, one which being the Greek titan Kronos, is also represented by a triple-faced woman akin to Hecate, and is likewise astrologically associated with the sphere of the moon. He encounters a female demon called Obizaboth, who has no limbs and a head full of disheveled hair. This is likely a reference to the Egyptian deacons, which are commonly known as the disheveled because their hair had been messed with by the sun god Re when he grabbed them after their rebellion. Many of the demons in Solomon's encounters of the Greek, Egyptian, Jewish, Christian, or Arabic, and other traditions. The majority of the Testament consists of Solomon's interviews with the demons, some of which are grotesque, including one which had no head. Most of the demons are otherwise unknown by name from other works. The demon is said to have hardened the Pharaoh's heart rather than Yahweh. The demons listed in order of appearance The Tephras, the 7 star sisters, a preference to the Pleiades, a reference to Envy, Rabdos, Wrath, Tribolos, Obizuth, the winged dragon, and in the Booping Up, a lustful spirit, an unnamed lustful spirit. The 36 spirits of the deacons. Okay, so how come we can't get the thingy on Tephras? I don't remember seeing that in there. Oh god. The decanal stars of Seti, showing the Egyptian decanal stars. Sopdet, Sirius, Orion. How do we know that? Like the 10th century, every 10 days, marking the start of a new 10-day week. The ancient Greeks called them dekino, meaning tenths. Deacons first appeared. The sequence of these star patterns began with Sopdet, the star Sirius, and each decanal star had a corresponding deity. As measures of time, the rising and the setting of the deacons marked hours and groups of 10 days, which comprise the Egyptian year. The ancient book of Nut covers its subject. After Alexander the Great, Egyptian astrology melded with Greek, Persian astrology, and original system of deacons gave way to a lunar division of 27 or 28 lunar stations, also known as manzil, or lunar mansions, and to a zodiac of 12 signs based on anthropomorphic pattern of constellations that can be seen in the Dendera zodiac. Deacons continued to be used in astrology in medieval Islam, Theosophy, cosmology, Hermeticism, ritual magic. Occultist Travis McHenry created a system of divination based on the Egyptian deacons. He incorporated the system into a deck of cards called the Egyptian Star Oracle. God, man. Fucking Travis is doing a whole bunch of shit, isn't he? Although it is commonly believed that there are only 36 deacons, in fact there are around 100 decanal stars. Although only 36 are used in the course of any given Egyptian year, the reason for the large number of stars has to do with the Solstic shift in the fact that the 365-day cycle of the star Sirius does not perfectly align with Earth's 365.25-day solar cycle. To compensate for this minor variation, the Egyptians allowed for subtle shifts in the decanal stars they used throughout the year. Additionally, 5 days are added to the end of the Egyptian calendar each year, and these days have their own deacon in addition to have a specific deity rule over each individual day. Boopity boop. The actual stars that were observed by the Egyptians and regarded as deacons are most not known. Many scientists have attempted to determine which stars might be deacons, but these theories have failed to gain broad support from their peers. Some deacons have been conclusively identified in his book 2022 book, Cult of the Stars. Travis McHenry, again, states that without further sources being revealed from the Middle Kingdom period, the stellar identities of the deacons are likely to remain unknown. However, he also proposes that a few deacons can be identified with a high degree of certainty. Sopdet, Sirius, Sa, the stars in Orion, Ko, the Pleiades, and Tipi, A, Sopdet, Procyon, in Gomesia. Okay. The list of the 37 deacons that are most commonly used across a broad time. The end of the year coincided with the rise of Sirius, followed by the 5 epiphanical days, after which the cycle would start again with the rise of Tipi A Kenvet on 1 Aket 1 at the beginning of a new year. New beginnings and jubilation. Tipi Ekebe, predecessor of the cow. Mineral unknown. Kenmet, the cow. Development growth, cow garnet. Kenry hipped the under hind part of the cow. What the fuck, man? They really like cows, huh? Change in circumstances, glass and gold. Jet, the beginning of the crane. Construction and building, glass and gold. You guys aren't really fucking changing much up, huh? The end of the crane, accomplishment. Galena and gold. What's Galena? Termat Harat, upper wing, care and nurturing, gold. Tamet Karet, lower wing, death and endings, crane, gold. The Washabapi Papakaki, the pregnant twins. What the fuck is that thing? Fertility and sex, twins, turquoise. Ipgyps, recovered senses, being of service, twins, iron and gold. The predecessor of Kamet, Kentet, truth and justice, hematite. Upper Kentet, chaos, smoky quartz and gold. Lower Kentet, conflict and war, red jasper and gold. Red one and Kentet, restraint and or end of conflict, glass and gold. Band of reeds, sowing seeds, the boat and flint. Middle of the boat, journey through life, the boat, glass and gold. Guides or wine press, spiritual struggles, the boat, glass and gold. Secret stars, rest and repose, the boat, carnelian and gold. The predecessor of the horn, the tree of life and wisdom, the sheep and the gold. The horn, the celebration of merriment, the sheep, the cup of gold. The sheep, the melancholy and sadness, the sheep, the dark flint and gold. Children of the sheep, oh goodness. Children of the fucking corn, healing sheep, carnelian and gold. under the hind part of the sheep. What the fuck is going on with the under? What are you doing? Why is that important? The under part of the sheep. The under hind part, like that's kind of like, what are you fucking the sheep? Are you fucking the cows? What is happening? Love and romance, glass and gold. Predecessor of the two spirits, mixed blessings, two souls garnet. What the fuck is that thing? Do you see these thingies? What is that? What is that? I'm telling you, they were doing a bunch of fucking weird shit back then. You know? They were just like trying shit out. See what they get. Look at these things. Half this, half that. Look at that. Look at that. He's got a feather for a head. They got a lot of snakes. And they got a lot of serpent-headed beings with tails. Half falcon. Maybe they thought, like, I don't know. I think they were just like taking whatever the fuck they had around to take. Birds fly, so they probably didn't get their hands on those too often. But it's like, look, who started it? A dude. A normal-looking dude. And then it just got really fucked up as time went on. The children of the sheep. The predecessor of the two spirits. Mixed blessings, two souls garnered. What is that? Why? Look, she looks like a fucking... Like we're gonna go bowling. She doesn't have any arms. She's got the bowling pin head. The two spirits, harvesting of the rewards, gold. Bawi, the two souls, abundance, two souls, gold. Upper Kimu, destruction of enemies, gold. Kantu Karu. Authority power, jasper and gold. Kid. What the fuck are those things? Serpents with heads. Creation and artistry, the potter, gold. I feel like gold helped them to do some stuff. Possessiveness of sharing, glass and gold. Cow. Respect and admiration, carnelian and gold. Irat. Roll of papyrus, writing our one's legacy, granite and gold. Remen Hari, purification, quartz and gold. Remen Kare Sa, lower arm of Sa. What the fuck is Sa? Illumination of revelation, quartz and gold. Sa, the father of the gods, protection from all dangers, gold. Tepi A Subdet, oh, that's there is. Predecessor of Subdet, destruction of chaos, ebony and gold. Subdet, goddess of the flood, inundation, Subdet. Well, okay, so they blame you for the flood. Shetway, look at that thing. What the fuck is that thing? Is he half turtle? He looks like he got a turtle head, but no shell. The two tortoise, oh yeah, removal of obstacles, epic move, carnelian and gold. At least I know what I'm looking at, right? Kinda. November 13th, we got the 11 and the 13 again. Oh my goodness, another 42 oracle cards by Travis. Egyptian deacons, beep. He traveled to Egypt where he spent 2 weeks exploring tombs and temples across the entire county. Information gathered, creating the deck, Middle Kingdom, lingering questions, how the stars were viewed by the ancient Egyptians, extensively documented the interiors of the various tombs. Many of these images or original funerary and religious artwork were given. He's the first tarot deck to use original artwork directly from the tombs of Egypt. Come from Egyptian tomb art, papyrus, and pieces of pottery. Ostrakhan. The background of each card contains a piece of spells from the pyramid text, as found inside. Okay, what? The background of each card contains a piece of the spells from the pyramid text, as found inside the pyramid of Teti in the necropolis. Each card of the deck linked to a specific star in the sky that was viewed as an important god to the ancient Egyptians. The most important of these was the goddess Sopdet, Star Sirius, who was considered the leader of the other stellar gods. The collection of gods and goddesses were known as deacons by the later Greek astrologers. Elements of the Egyptian systems into the Persian astrology. The guidebook sent to prominent Egyptian in Canada and Egypt who reviewed it gave favorable responses concerning the fundamental theories of Egyptian astrology laid out by Travis in the book and suggested that he revised the text to have it submitted for publication. What? Two who reviewed it gave favorable responses concerning the fundamental theories of Egyptian astrology laid out by... Oh yeah, so he knows what he's talking about. Probably because he's, you know, psychic. It's in the Palladian lineup that page was done with. Product overview. Cows. New beginnings and jubilation. Predecessor of the cow. The cow of darkness. Oh my goodness, he's sucking on the cow. Look at the cow's face. Cow's like, what are you doing? That's not for you. It's not for you to do. I'm telling you, man. I think they were fucking the cows. For a little while there, at least. Oh, this one's slower, huh?
Our Oracle deck by Travis McHenry, this unique and beautiful astrological exploration will transform your world.
Hi, my name is Travis McHenry, and I'm the creator of the Egyptian Star Oracle. This deck is the first of its kind, a divination tool that relies solely on Egyptian astrology and Egyptian texts to connect you with the 36 decans, the gods of the night sky. Over the past 150 years, several authors have tried to create Egyptian tarot decks, but really, all they are is Egyptian-themed tarot decks. In 3000 BC, the Egyptians did not use the Kabbalah in their magic. They didn't interpret the stars using Babylonian astrology, and they had no interest in Hermetic or Gnostic mysteries, because these things did not yet exist. The sources I used to create this deck predate those cultural traditions by hundreds or even thousands of years. Now, I didn't simply read some articles on Wikipedia to make this deck. Earlier this year, I traveled to Egypt and spent weeks studying the tombs, the temples, and the texts in person. From the Old Kingdom tombs of Asut, which I believe is the birthplace of astrology as we know it today, to the Mountain of the Dead in the brutally hot Western Desert on the border with Libya. The images on these cards are authentic artwork from ancient Egypt. Some come from papyrus or pottery, and some I photographed directly on the tomb walls. For example, in the tomb of Seti I in the Valley of the Kings. No other deck can claim this level of authenticity. Some of the images on these cards, like this one of a man helping a cow give birth, have never been published before. On the background of each card is a snippet of the pyramid texts that I gathered from the Pyramid of Titi in the Saqqara necropolis. These specific spells are intended to evoke the decans in exactly the same way as sigils evoke Kabbalistic angels and goetic demons. And because each card contains a piece of this pyramid text spell, they can be used in evocation and ritual work, as well as for divination. That even the 96-page guidebook that accompanies the deck couldn't possibly contain everything I learned. So I ended up writing a companion book called Cult of the Stars. The secrets I uncovered have completely changed my views on astrology, the tarot, and almost all occult traditions. I've even discovered the true meaning behind Aleister Crowley's mysterious statement, all men and women are stars.
One of the things that I'm called to do since the book was published is to awaken people to the impact the Nephilim agenda has on us today.
What is the Nephilim agenda?
Yeah, big question, right? So the Nephilim agenda, as I define it, is essentially it was unleashed during the days of Noah. So it's the plan to defile the human genome through the propagation of a hybrid race. And the purpose of that is to overthrow God's kingdom. So the origins of this Nephilim agenda actually go back to the seed war of Genesis 3. And I'll read verse 14 and 15. It says, "So the Lord God said to the serpent, 'Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel.'" So what we have here is after the fall, Yahweh declared war between the seed of Eve, which is humanity, and the seed of Satan. And one day Eve's seed would crush Satan. Now, this was a prophetic declaration of the coming Messiah. So Satan's strategy then was to contaminate the seed of the woman by altering the genetic code of humans. This is where the fallen sons of God become integral in Satan's strategy. And we read about that not only in Genesis 6, but also in the extra biblical text of the book of Enoch. So the fallen sons of God, they chose to leave their heavenly abode, and they invaded the earth realm by descending upon Mount Hermon. And from there, they lusted after the daughters of men. They took them as wives, they mated with them, and then they defiled the human genome. And these hybrid race of giants were birthed, known as the Nephilim. So in my book, I knew that it was important. One of the things that God was really pressing upon me was to identify a set of proposed criteria, because, the Nephilim kind of have this ethereal nature. And so by identifying this proposed criteria, it would help advance our ability to discern Nephilim traits within an individual. And so what I did in chapter 13 of my book is I identified 4 physical traits and 19 behavioral characteristics of the Nephilim and their giant offspring. And it's really because we must not be deceived in thinking that the Nephilim only roamed the earth during the days of antiquity. I propose that there are Nephilim and Nephilim hosts alive today. It represents a human that has partnered with the spiritual forces of darkness to carry out the Nephilim agenda. And these would be, people that would meet that criteria that I set out in chapter 13. And I think many of them are the titans of global governance. These are the global elites over media and banking, industry, academia, big pharma, the political establishment. The Nephilim actually leave a bit of a calling card.
What was the calling card? That's like a cliffhanger. Unless that's a loaded question. I'm not sure.
Well, it's in a nutshell, it's the color red. But I want to unpack it a little bit because it will really help connect the dots from the days of Noah and ancient biblical history to the here and now. And it's really I should say this, like one of the things that I love to do is I love treasure hunts. The Holy Spirit did with me in writing this book and doing all this research is he would just lay out clue after clue. And like you said, I would just say, okay, Lord, what do you have for me today? And so when I began putting the pieces together of what he was showing me, that's when I understood, okay, there really are throughout history two symbols that are a consistent thread connecting the Nephilim and their agenda. And that is the color red and the circumpunct. Now, the circumpunct is the circle with a dot. But I want to focus on the color red because this will tie some pieces together for us today. So, in thinking about the color red, it's indelibly linked to the Edomites. In fact, the first mention of the Hebrew word red in scripture, which is Adamoni, is in reference to Esau's birth. So it means reddish of the hair or complexion. And it turns out that Esau is very important in the storyline of the Nephilim agenda. There's this transformation that took place between when Esau became Edom. Now, the Hebrew word for Edom is Adam, and it means to be red. So naturally, I'm like, hey, what the heck does it mean to be red?
Yeah.
And so I just began digging, and I started just looking at the biblical meaning for the color red in scripture. And there's two types of meanings. There's the redemptive purpose, and then there's the defiled purpose. The redemptive purpose, is represented by the blood of the Passover lamb and by the blood of Jesus. But there's numerous connections of this defiled purpose of the color red aligning with the seed of Satan. And we see this in Isaiah chapter 1. Red represents sin and the blood of evil deeds. And then in Revelation 6, it represents chaos, death, and destruction. It even represents Satan himself in Revelation 12. And then in Revelation 17, red represents the beast, mystery, Babylon, and martyrdom.
How God made us, and it isn't just what the and fun woman.
Really? I fucking hate this fucking place. Again, this is so random, okay? I follow Lara Clary, and her story popped up, clicked on her story, and then I went through to, because I knew she interviewed Tiffany Jenkins. She made funny, like, both of them got sober, blah, blah, blah. They have books, okay? So I was
British
over
royal
there
family
watching that, right? And then this person had commented and was rude on the post.
Sobriety brought us together with
and she was being rude. She was, you're not sober all the time, Lara, give it up. And then I saw someone say to her something about like only having one like on her AI generated picture. And because this girl Lara has been having like the fucking, like, I guess her house, I don't even know. I didn't even know this part. I've been following some of it because her fucking ex-husband is losing his goddamn mind. He's been psychotic. He deleted this page for a little bit. 14 million people, and like all of her videos on YouTube were deleted for a little bit, and he's like now gone to get sober supposedly for like the 100th time, but who knows, because he lies out his ass all the time. So one of the comments was saying something about like her house got raided or something, like a SWAT team showed up at her house, and so I don't know what happened there, because I didn't see about that yet. But there's been a lot of bullshit, right? So I felt like maybe it's possibly him, because they're like, it's just not normal, like, if you're a girl with half your tits out, and there's only one like. I was like, I went to look, and like, that looks like somebody did a fucking AI version of, what's her, the fucking weirdo, with like all the masks on all the time, and then over time stopped wearing it. So this one has 7 likes, but I don't know, somebody mentioned something about it, but this one doesn't have any likes. Anyways, I saw this, okay? And this is about the bloodline, the family, the Anunnaki, the human hybrids. And when I go to this person's page, the 333 has been fucking the thing for the last fucking days. And the first video that I saw was about when I clicked, oh, maybe videos? Yeah, so this is the first thing I saw, Jesus the Anunnaki part 2. First one I saw real quick, talking about the 13 bloodlines. And then I saw Jesus the end. It was like, what is going on? I even wrote about the 13 bloodlines recently. It's, again, hard because some of the stuff that I have shared has only been given to the people on Patreon. But it's like, But it's been there. It's up in there. It's up in the brain. It's all around. It's been connected to. But yeah, this one is all about 13.
Especially the House of Windsor are direct descendants of these ancient bloodlines. The ancient rulers of Babylon, who were descended from Marduk, are believed to have divine or semi-divine Anunnaki blood, which they passed down through generations. This lineage continued through various European royal families. For instance, Charlemagne, the Holy Roman Emperor, and the Merovingian dynasty in France, and the Plantagenet and Tudor dynasties in England all kept this bloodline alive. These royal families intermarried, maintaining a pure bloodline that extends to the present day through the House of Stuart, the House of Hanover, and the current House of Windsor.
The Freeman name is my stepdad's name.
It's a remarkable continuity of lineage and influence that stretches back thousands of years.
So, I clicked on him. I didn't even get to really investigate. I was investigating to see if it was maybe possibly the douchebag, but we came over here, and here we are. More important things to deal with. What is that?
A monstrosity that is not just a kingdom,
It's a monster.
but the culmination of all the world's fallen empires. Daniel spoke of a son of man, a figure who would come on the...
Guys,
a
everything
monstrosity.
I do is about fucking God. It's like, everything keeps bringing me back to, like, God and Jesus, but, like, it's not in the way that, like, because I'm not gonna be like the people of the Bible that are like, bleh! Like, they're just as bad as the sinners that they are trying to tell are fucking horrible people. Like, you're just as fucking as bad, okay? And I already know, because I went and, like, I was having, like, a flip out one day, because it was one of the times that the stuff came up on the radio, and I was like, it's not that I don't believe in Jesus or that I don't believe in God, I just never really call it God, because my association with God has been fucking tainted by the people here on the planet that don't fucking do justice to what you would think of the situation. First of all, you killed Jesus, God, okay? Like, that's pretty fucked up, and then you want to twist the story around and like, take what he was all about and, like, shit on it, because he's not, he wouldn't be happy with the way of the world at this time. I don't care, like, and the way of his people, his followers that are like, nah, that just attack people, you know, like, he was hanging out with the people that were, like, the ones that everybody goes around and tries to fucking tell they're pieces of shit and they're gonna go to hell and blah, 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 blah. You know, like I said, it's not the right approach. It's not the right approach. Lead by example. Be nice. You know, don't just judge these people and tell them. Because it's not how you get people on your side. It's not how you get people to turn around. It's not how people change their perspective about things. Is to attack them and to talk down to them. It's not going to help. It's going to do the opposite of what, you know, the end game is, right? So I had even, like, went and got little clickety clips, because it's like, how would Jesus feel about the world today? What was Jesus all about? Why did Jesus flip the fucking table over? Jesus flipped the fucking table over because he didn't like the way the fucking assholes, the people who were ruling shit and, like, trying to mix money into the church and be like, and it was corruption. He didn't like the corruption. He didn't like the way that people take advantage and do stupid shit and treat each other like shit. Doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. If you are a human being, you can turn around and stop being however you're being. But if your goal, your only sought in life is to have you benefit and you be doing whatever you're doing to get to your fucking results for yourself and only yourself, that's not okay. And he'd probably flip your fucking table over and tell you it.
It is not just a kingdom, but the culmination of all the world's fallen empires.
What's this? It's a monstrosity. So yeah, this is the one.
The beast was taken. The dragon was bound in chains.
Oh no.
The dead rose. The books were opened. And then, a new heaven, a new earth. The old world burned away. The new Jerusalem descended. No more sorrow, no more pain. Only light. The vision faded. But the voice still echoed. Behold, I am coming soon.
Interesting. That's not the one we were looking for. So he's got the eyeball up in there, huh? The Dogon.
Sharing their advanced knowledge with the Dogon people. While mainstream scholars remain skeptical, the Dogon myths continue to fuel debates and inspire those who explore the mysteries of our ancient past. As we delve deeper into the Dogon myths and their potential connections to ancient astronauts, we uncover a rich tapestry of knowledge, spirituality, and cosmic wonder.
Oh.
Mo, who they believe came from the Sirius star system. These amphibious beings are said to have imparted this astronomical knowledge to the Dogon, long before it was confirmed by modern science. According to the Dogon, the Nomo arrived in a vessel from the sky, bringing with them profound wisdom and teachings about the cosmos. Could the Nomo have been visitors from another star system, who they believe came from...
Dude, why you guys so short little shitty shit?
The Dogon speak of Sirius as a binary star system, with Sirius B being an invisible companion star that orbits Sirius A every 50 years. This precise knowledge, verified by modern astronomy in the 19th and 20th centuries, raises intriguing questions. How could an ancient people, without telescopes or advanced technology, possess such detailed information about as a binary star system?
Dude, you gotta fucking get some more information into one thing. We don't want to just fucking do this stupid thing.
Among the Dogon people, one of the most poignant myths involves the sacrifice of one of the Nomo to restore balance and purity to the cosmos. This act of selflessness brought life and fertility to the land, cementing the Nomo's role as both creators and sustainers of life. But perhaps the most astonishing aspect of Dogon mythology is their knowledge of the Sirius star system. Among the Dogon people.
Alright, so this guy just like fucking clipped up 1,000 fucking pieces of one. Stop it! Don't be doing that shit! I'm gonna kill you! What? How did I get here? What is happening? It's not where I'm supposed to. This is the weird shit that. Okay, weird shit videos. Here we go. Okay, Jesus the Anunnaki.
Known to some as Zeus.
Look. Okay.
Judas said to him, Jesus.
Judas.
I know who you are and where you have come from.
I know
you
a
are
lot
from
of
the
Judases.
immortal realm of Barbello, and I am not worthy to utter the name of the one who has sent you. This cryptic reference, Barbello, might trace its roots back to the tongues of Aramaic or Akkadian civilizations. Bar, in the language of ancient Aramaic, signifies son or son of.
Son of a bitch.
Thus, Barbello whispers hints of divinity, possibly alluding to son of God or son of the gods.
Son of a bitch.
The sacred Hebrew texts are replete with over 2,600.
That shit that was just in the front of this thing, I was literally making those little symbols earlier. What are you doing? Why are you being a weirdo? Serious?
Mentions of these celestial beings.
What?
For Judas, his deity of allegiance was Jehovah, or Yahweh, the deity of warfare.
Nice.
Standing in stark opposition to Baal, the Lord, but not the Lord, as in Jehovah. The name Baal, a title reverberating through the annals of time, morphs into Bel, Belos, or Belus,
evil.
All paths leading to the mighty Jupiter,
Satan.
Known to some as Zeus.
This is exactly what happened to Dory March. Every time she got in the car, the fucking thing would stop playing.
Capturing God's heart.
Why is this happening? The thing is, like, I believe Jesus lived. I believe Jesus had a life, but I don't believe what they tell us about the circumstances of it. You don't kill a person and then like, oh wait, never mind. Like, that's the whole fucking thing is fucked, but nobody questions it. Nobody thinks about it in like a logical way. Like, all right, this guy came, tells you this stuff, and you know he's a good guy doing all these things, but you still fucking put him on a cross, kill him, and then all the things that you try, like, it's just a fucking control thing. It's just another fucking. That's what he really was. He wasn't happy for the fucking controlling systems. He knows that they're fucking eggs, and he was trying to help people to not do what they're fucking doing right now. Continue to do right now. It's not real what they tell you and what they say. Like, some stuff is positive, but the story has been manipulated and edited way too many times. And there's still, like, the other day I saw a thing, and there was like all these different people fighting back and forth about what was actually said or done when Judas fucking like betrayed him, and because it was like, oh, and all these people are going back and forth about what he actually said or did at the table. The fact that there's that many versions of people out there, like, oh no, he dipped his hand in the cup. Oh no, he dipped his bread in his water. Oh no, he did his fucking feet in the bowl. Oh no, they did this thing in the hand. Oh no, but it means this. No, but it means that. But it means this and it means that. And it's like, obviously. You don't know!
It shouldn't even exist. There's all these things about it that are insane, but one of the things that I saw within the stuff that I had grabbed just to show people one simple thing, I realized they were mixing the shungite powder with olive oil to help people with like skin issues. After the Leviticus thing, I was like, maybe I need olive oil for my skin. And then here I come full circle. I just randomly bring shungite up here one night because I've known like the EMFs and all that shit has been intense. But I also had the powder that was like actual legit powder, which I bought years ago for when I was doing the pyramids and things.
Live out the prophecy of God. So you can be a light in the world. And I immediately had said, like, I feel like I'm going to need the olive oil for my feet. And then when I randomly pulled up the fucking shit about the shungite, it's like, oh yeah, babbity beep, so look at this, I got a dummy. I made some, look at my lady boopida. I'm not wearing any shoes, I'm wearing shungite.
Back to my home, back to my father, who never let go. For the first time in ages, I know what to do. I'm running back to you.
He knew you. Before you were born, he knew you. And he knew he wanted you. His love for you has no beginning and no end.
Happening in my life?
I believe you gave sight to the blind. I believe that the dead came to life. I will tell of your wonders, sing of your grace. The God of creation knows me by name. The Lord is faithful. I will tell of your wonders, sing of your grace.
then disconnect and go underground for a while. So I do feel that it might be possible, smart of us to put something over that part of the boat so that it doesn't fill up with water and drown us. But I did see Saturn come and put an 8 hole above us, which ended up causing some issues because we didn't have our space station up. Meaning, like, you just crushed our fucking thingy. So now, like, oh no. People out there for people, okay? Like I said, you're illuminating some sort of new being, some new information. There's the Deuteronomy. There's a lot of stuff going on that you might not know. People you want to celebrate with, people you want to build with, people you like, people you love, people who are good for you, who lift you up to your divine union, which is number 44, to be of this divine light and love, to illuminate and to have a conscious vision of Saint Michael and marry him. Alright. So you're illuminating a new consciousness, a new beginning. You've been waking up the rebirth of the Green Man for the sacred lineage, which is deeply intertwined with like the biblical aspect of stuff, like the right partnership, the yin to the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the omega and the all that stuff coming together in a conscious decision to make that choice from the light, to choose yourself first and then turn around and help others and love each other. But then sometimes always proving to be more difficult than easy at different times. You're also coming to the end of a wait period. Whatever you've been feeling like you're waiting on for the ship to come in, just know it's almost here. And any day now, your ship will be ready to take you off. Whether it's a sea ship or a water ship, you're going on a fucking ship.